Ladies and gentlemen, due to circumstances beyond our control, the regularly scheduled ZimmCast scheduled for this time will now be broadcast in its entirety. We're sorry for any confusion this may cause, and, well, we're just sorry.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
Well, I had the other opening set to go there. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. We see you out there. Don't be afraid.
Come on
You
in.
in the hall. There's chairs in the front.
Doors wide open.
And pull up a chair, grab some coffee. It's time for the ZimmCast. Come on in. Chat's open, by the way. Where's that chat? There's that chat. Nobody's there yet. Chat room is open. Be the first. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that love button. Come on in. Got a head cold tonight, so I'll be jumping in and off, on and off the camera occasionally, and my nose will get redder throughout the broadcast, not because of what I'm drinking. It's all good. Believe me, it's just a cold. There we are. Standards and practices already asking me what the hell. That's it. Anyway, with me tonight is Mr. Mitch Rogers, as usual. Mitch, introduce yourself.
I am Mitch Rogers. I'm a horror comics writer and artist from Greenville, South Carolina, the creator of the Boger and Flesh and Blood collection series of comic books. Have right here. Have the second volume of the Boger Southern Gothic available at my website for purchase. So if you're interested, head on over there and pick up a copy.
Great. Also joining us tonight is Mr. Luke Stone. Luke, introduce yourself.
What's up? Hi, my name is Luke Stone. I'm a writer and artist. Known for doing a book called Hybrids, The Sons of Gods, among a couple other things. And you can find all the stuff I'm doing at lukestonestudios.com. Have a couple of campaigns that are currently live right now, but ending soon. So check it
Mr.
out.
C has jumped into the chat. He's the first one in. Hello, hello. See, if you want to come in, you're welcome to. Come on in. You know how to get here. You know where the back door is. So if you want in, come on in. We're just going to have an informal discussion about 2023.
It's right upon us.
Yep. Oh, and the news and stuff. Hey, stuff. Well, who knows? There's not a whole lot happening. It's that time. It's that time of year. We're after Thanksgiving, and we're jumping towards Christmas into the holidays. Speaking of jumping, here comes JD Calderon. What's up?
What's up, Nick? What's up, Luke? How you doing, Randy?
What's up, man?
Good. How's your mic?
Is my mic?
Yeah.
How
Okay.
do I sound it?
You sound a lot better now. Yeah. You were a little iffy in my earphones before. JD, introduce yourself.
How you doing? My name is JD Calderon. I'm the writer and creator of the Oswald Chronicles and Tall Tales. The Oswald Chronicles currently being live on Kickstarter right now, so go check it out. And I'm a indie writer. Been doing this thing since '92. Podcaster, doing all that good stuff. All around indie guy.
Great.
Well,
All right,
we're going to talk about the news.
check.
I'm at broke later this afternoon that Elaine Kaminsky-Crum passed away
Oh no!
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
of
When did that
cancer, I believe.
just this afternoon?
Well, that's when I heard it. Let's see when she actually passed.
I know Christy McVie passed, or was announced that she had passed.
Yeah,
So
that too.
that was really a shame.
No, I'm not going to pay to read your article.
There we are. What are you on, ICV2?
No, it was Forbes.
ICV2.
She was 74. She passed away at her home in France.
Oh,
It
man.
doesn't give a time though in this one article. This is Comics Beat Up. Yeah, Comics Beat.
Comics beat up. Yeah.
That's what they
Well,
do.
condolences. Sorry, Robert.
Yeah, this isn't a good year for comic book people. We've lost a lot of great people.
Yeah. And this is the time of year where a lot more, it seems that there's a lot more professionals passing away that makes the news. So,
Yeah. And Peter David is having a rough time of it.
I saw that Perch video today. He's got a GoFundMe out there.
Yeah.
We hope he's doing all right. They said he's looking to raise 40 grand to cover his bills. He's coming back from a second stroke, so
Yeah.
that has got to be rough. We wish him the best.
Mm-hmm.
Met
said
Peter
he-
David a couple times.
No, nice guy. I mean, the last time I saw him was in Miami, probably about 10 years ago, after his first stroke. And he did not look well. But, he's been with us since then. I mean, he's been writing, and I'm hopefully he'll recover and, he'll be able to make it back stronger.
Get right back on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hope so. That's one of the risky things, and you're working for the big two. There's no health insurance when you're freelance.
But he's 66. I would hope he would be, what is it, a Medicare? Right?
Yeah, probably.
Right.
That stuff's a mess anyway. Not to go into specifics, but it's.
Well, I mean, listen, my parents were on it. They were taken care of. But it also might be where you're at in the country. So I don't know. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They say life expectancy is very good after 65 because of free health coverage in this country. So.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good news for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for those of us that live to see 75 at least.
65. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, it's still
Even
65.
75. 75 would be good too.
Oh yeah. Well, this is 85. Yeah. Luke, what are you working on, man? That looks interesting.
Oh, I'm working on a cover for a book. I'm just messing around, seeing how it's going to work, and so I'm just doing some basic painting. I have not painted before like this, so just trying it out.
I don't think I've ever painted on the computer. Most of my paintings are by hand. Well, I mean, on paper.
On your hand?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had a buddy. That's all he would do that at conventions. He would go in and smear ink all over the page, and then he'd wear a white T-shirt. He'd rub it on his chest, his ink. And then I think he keeps the T-shirts and he labels it for the convention that he was at.
Last name was Pollock.
Nah, Q-less.
Be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I just reposted a couple of pictures from the Chaz Adams exhibit that was floating around a couple of years ago because so many people are talking about Wednesday on Netflix. So, you watched it yet, Mitch?
I have not. I'm kind of afraid to.
Yeah, I was too. I sat and watched the first 3 episodes. It's really good. I was amazed.
Oh, okay.
Tim
Because I
Burton.
couldn't get through Monsters.
Tim Burton's behind it, and he's directing, and he actually knows, and it's obvious he respects the material. I am pleasantly amazed at it, even though
the shop then
the girl playing Wednesday shouldn't be a girl. The woman, she's 20. The woman playing Wednesday isn't my idea of Wednesday, but she carries it very well. And Morticia and Gomez are dead on. So Pugsley has hair, which is was a little weird, but that's okay. Thing. It's awesome. So.
Yeah, I saw things like stitched up, like it looks like a Frankenstein monster.
Yeah, he's got Frankenstein scars on him, but he's still running. You can still tell it's a guy in a green sleeve, using his hand.
Is cousin in there? Yeah.
Not yet. Hasn't shown up yet. They might be holding that off until the second season. So, I know Fester comes in I think episode 4 or so, and he's
long?
Fester, and everybody that says that that's seen him says he does an incredible job. So
I saw the trailer where they finally showed him, and he seemed pretty on the nose as far as Fester.
All the characters are on the nose. It's just Wednesday looks a little bit.
She's supposed to be older in this.
Yeah, I know she's supposed to be older, but she looks a little thinner and a little bit more drained, gaunt, I guess you would say, than what I would expect her to be. Christina Ricci is in it as well, and she's got an okay part, just bouncing around. So it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Louis Guzman, enough. I'm not, I've nothing against his casting. It's just that freaking hair looks ridiculous.
Well, it's right out of the,
it just looks
not the TV show, but it's right out of the original
comic strips.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's shorter in the comic strips. Like it's up to here, but in all the stuff I've seen for the show, it's like all the way down here. It's like just if you would have cut it here, it would have looked perfect.
It's all right though, and he's a great actor. So.
Oh yeah, he's great in everything he does.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, what can you say?
Oh yeah, she gave her husband cancer.
Oh. Well, you could say that, I guess. Yeah, I suppose.
We weren't going to say that.
If you want to say that.
Yes, we are now, aren't we?
Well, according to Michael Douglas, that's how he got throat cancer. So I didn't make it up. I'm just,
Yeah. Exactly.
He may be making it up, but I'm not.
So as I was saying, this is the time of year you start looking after Thanksgiving, before Christmas. You start thinking it's the end of the year. I got to start planning. At least most of us start planning.
Oh yeah.
What we're going to do in 2023. What's up? So how do you think? Any predictions on how 2023 is going to go? Don't try not to be too cynical.
I think it's going to be busy. I think I'm going to be busy. I got a lot going on. I'm starting a website. That's going well. I actually got mock-ups tonight.
Awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, I can start showing off that. And we got a features list. We're going to have a nice presentable version of the features list this evening. Friday evening, I mean. So yeah, it's going to be nice.
Sweet.
What type of website is it?
Fundmycomic.com.
Fundmycomic.com.
You already announced it before, so it's no real secret, right?
Nope, no secret at all.
Yeah.
In fact, we're trying for it not to be secretive in any way. We want everyone to know about it. So yeah,
Nice.
It is fundmycomic.com. It is a crowdfunding site for comics and games. And we're pretty excited about it.
Cool.
I'm relaunching the Boger as an ongoing, so I'm working hard to trying to get that done.
I'm trying to readjust my camera. All right.
It's spot on right now.
Same as where it was. But anyway, wanted to try to hide the mess. That's why I put the curtain up, to try to hide all the clutter. More clutter.
Yeah, I don't usually do New Year's resolutions, but one, resolution or plan that I've really put upon myself is to, actually get a lot of the ideas and, the stuff that I have planned on my head actually done and out. Because, the past 2 years, without getting into, details, it's been insane.
I think it's been insane for everybody.
True.
Yeah.
But like other things, I couldn't, get, stuff done. And if, I had time, I was just so drained. I just stopped, I just didn't even feel like doing it. But next year I'm like, okay, let's get all this stuff done that I'm, so I can stop obsessing about it over my head and actually get them on paper and out.
Now's really the time to start planning, because you have a month to run up to 2023. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the 1st.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it seems like yesterday it was 2019.
Yeah.
For some of us, it was. But anyway,
Yeah. For some of us, it feels like it was just 1992.
yeah.
For some of us, that was a long time ago.
For all of us, it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
You know.
12 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not going there.
Life was easier back then.
I was in first grade.
Just not going there.
Yeah.
92.
92 was a good year, man. I don't know about for you, but it was a good year for me.
I would love, if I had a choice of years to go back to, I would choose 77.
77 was a good year. Wasn't that the year the blackout?
It might have been, but it didn't affect us here in the middle of Michigan.
Oh,
No,
so
no,
for
I
a
know,
lot
but-
of people, they had fun.
Yeah.
77 was a good year. That year I was a kid. I mean, I was 8, 9, so Star Wars came out, right?
It's a lot of great movies come out during that time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, when did Jaws come out?
76.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Well, it's probably still in
Yeah.
theaters at
The year before.
77.
I remember driving by the Genesee Valley Theater. It was a 4-theater complex, and seeing the line out the door all the way around the theater, almost back up to the front of the door again. People waiting to buy tickets to go see Jaws. It's like they want to go and see a shark movie. That's pretty. I guess the movie's got to be pretty good. So finally got to see it a couple of weeks later, and it was like, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, and everyone thought that movie was going to be a flop.
Mm-hmm.
That made it. Everyone, and just the surprise of, holy crap, people like this.
Well, look at the hassles that Lucas had trying to get Star Wars done after coming off of a huge hit. American Graffiti was big, made a lot of money. He's like, well, next one I want to do is a space adventure. Yeah. You're insane. Get the hell out of here. What the heck?
Yeah.
How you going to do that?
Bless you.
Mitch steps out for a second. Can't blame him there. I'm going through that myself. So
Yeah.
Apologize. It's the
not a
sticking
problem.
crap in the air.
Sneaks up on us all.
Yeah.
But yeah, 77 was it, for me. And then 78, 79, just dropped me off at 77 with the knowledge that I have now. Whew, would I have a different life? So
Yeah.
I think that's most of us.
just graduating. That was my last year of high school. Right there. I skipped out from work to go see Star Wars. I worked after school. I had a cherry school set up. I'd go into actual school for 3 hours, then go to Skill Center for 3 hours, which was a technical school where I learned commercial art. All of the instruments, all the tools that you needed for commercial art that you no longer use anymore. That's what I learned. Had that for junior and senior year. Everything that the computer replaced, right?
Did you learn how to strip ruby lith?
Dude, I won an award doing ruby and amber lith separations.
Yeah.
I could take a watercolor painting and strip that down into a 5 or 6 color shirt. It'd take me an afternoon, but I'd get it done.
Nice.
I was really proud of that. But nowadays, the one thing that helped me out on is learning how to do digital color. Is working off of doing those kind of separations. Only I didn't need an X-Acto blade. Just use a mouse or stylus and get it done. And then when working on apparel for screen printing, for the longest time, you had to be careful with your dots because everything was still dot printed when you screen print it. You had to make sure the dot patterns were going in the right angle, or else you ended up with nasty moire patterns.
Yep.
And I've seen a couple of convention shirts that other people had done in process color that turned out just horrible, absolutely atrocious.
Because they end up like mud.
Yeah, or worse. You end up with all these crazy looking zigzag patterns on it, and you just, great.
1991, I went to a school called Manhattan School of Printing. It doesn't exist anymore, but they taught us how to print, and it was stripping ruby lith and doing layouts and burning plates and doing all that stuff.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, and doing camera work, how to separate on a camera.
When I started doing apparel, separations. We were still using rub-on letters and a little linotype that would print the lettering out at a certain point size, and we'd have to go in and set up an arch, and then glue them in all around, and then take it underneath this great old black camera that we had with the huge dials on it. We'd sit there like mad scientists, wheel, looking at the graph, wheel. You know, looking at the little numbers here, getting it right, sliding the plate in. You know, taking the picture and sliding it out, and then sliding it through a developer.
Yeah. Oh no, we develop by hand. We had a dark room. We were in there like this.
Oh, we had the old washing machine washboards. You'd send it through, and then dip it through the water, or dip it through the chemical, then dip it through the water, and then come out squeezed back out. And then we'd have to separate it and then hang it on the line.
Nice.
To dry.
Yeah, I took a printing class in high school at a career center, and it was interesting. Our teacher was like, "Oh yeah, printing will always, will always be here."
Yeah.
Now I'm looking back and I'm like, I wonder if you have a job right now.
Yeah, the actual skills I learned during my junior and senior years, I did get to use for a couple of years until the computers came in. And then the guy who ran the print or the t-shirt shop that I was at pretty much plopped a computer down, propped the programming down, and said, "Learn it. See ya." And he had spent a pretty penny for it, so I had to sit there and figure out how to use it.
Yeah, we were all right there at the beginning when computers were coming in. As I'm learning how to strip Rubylith, we had these printer magazines, right, where it was just for the industry magazines, and you start to see ads for color steps, computerized color steps, where they would place it over a drum, right? They would take your artwork, put it over a drum, and they would scan it and then print it out, and they would give you the 4, Yep.
Yeah, like an inkjet printer, only a scanner.
That stuff is crazy. But it was interesting. I mean, I learned a lot in there, and I mean, it taught me about printing. It's where I got that education.
I took the class was I was interested in printing, and teacher didn't like that I wanted to do comics. She thought that was ridiculous.
Weird.
And
that is a little crazy.
Every art teacher I've ever had was the same way. Comic books. That's not art, but then they'd have like Garfield hung up in their classroom.
Didn't count.
It's like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The big thing I was always told is the instructor at the skill center said, "I'm gonna teach you how to do commercial art, and you're never gonna get any work, especially not around here. You're gonna have to move somewhere to a bigger city in order to use this, but I'm gonna teach you how to do it because that's what I'm paid to do." It's like. But right out of high school, I was right into a t-shirt shop, and it took a couple of years after that. I did a few other jobs between that, ran a bookstore, and I was a short order cook at a golf course for a little while. That was fun. But once I got into the apparel business, all of that stuff all came back for about maybe a year or two, and then computers started coming in. To talk about cut down time, I literally went from 40 hours a week down to 20 once I figured out how to use a computer, because it saved us that much time. Just nothing to it. Well, I was all right because I was working on comics in the meantime. Come on in, everybody. 77 Star Wars release. Exactly right. Greetings from Peru. Hey. Efren Jesus Anchervos Bizardo. I probably just massacred your name. I'm sorry. Efren, I'm glad you're here. Doug, man, you guys are bringing back memories of processes. Yeah, sorry. Processes about memories. Yeah. Absolutely. And then once I taught myself Corel Draw, I was like, I still have Corel Draw. I still use it to lay everything out. I do all my design work on it. The drawing stuff's all done, with a Wacom board, but I've got another system here that I still have Corel Draw in it. I still do PDF print files off of it.
It's been forever since I've used Corel Draw.
Aren't you using InDesign? No. Aren't you using Print Studio? No.
I had somebody ask if I use InDesign. And I go, well, I used to, and then Clip Studio does it all now.
Yeah.
So why change programs?
And I
Well,
paid
just-
for Clip Studio. I've got it in my big system here. I've opened it twice. I just haven't had time to sit there and really play around with it. If I could, I'd sit there and paint like you're doing.
Well, I'm giving it a shot.
There we are.
Oh, cool.
Giving it a whirl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got to try it.
Yeah.
Did a few paintings. Oh man, it's probably been 10, 12 years ago. The last painting I did, I used for a cover for Flint Comics. It was in the rat fink tradition. The little shop rat guy sitting in a bent over, arced over Buick, holding a stick shift in his hand, and
I love Rat Fink.
with a hamburger in the other hand, and having a crazy grin on his face. You
I
know,
did a lot of Rat Fink stuff.
it was a fun picture.
in high
It
school.
looked like Garbage Pail Kid. It's the same
appreciate it.
type of look to it. Yeah,
Mhm.
same feel as the Garbage Pail Kid painting. So I was pretty happy with that. Happy enough to use it for a cover.
Nice.
Right for our Back to the Bricks, we have a big cruise up here that they bring out all the shiny cars and line them up downtown for everybody to drool over. It's a good time.
I do like classic cars.
Doug says still use Corel Draw too. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've only used Corel Draw a few times, like back in like 07, 08 when I started doing technical illustration.
Mhm.
Then they moved over to Adobe Illustrator, and that's what I've used ever since.
I'm a firm believer in if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So if you've got a program you're good at and you're using it and it works still, why not? So there we go. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, and I don't even use modern Illustrator. I still use CS3 or 4 to get stuff done.
Well, use what you have, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gotta get along.
Yeah, I don't like the whole concept of having to pay to use a software month to month when I used to just buy it once and use it.
Yeah. Well, everything now is they want you to rent
Absolutely.
it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just want
Yeah.
you to rent it.
Yeah.
Just like any digital file. You're only renting.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
You
That's why I don't pay full price for anything digital if I have to pay for it.
Right.
And that's a huge if I have to.
Well, the main reason I've got Clip Studios in my system is because they had a big sale. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I can buy it for $100, not a problem. Here we go.
I'm actually using Clip
If it's the
Studio.
pro package with all of the patches and everything that I need,
I'm actually
yeah.
using the Clip Studio right now.
there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I've never used
I
Clip
love Clip.
Studio.
Oh, I love it.
It impresses me as being close to Photoshop.
It is, but it's more
Yeah.
geared towards
It
comic
looks like
books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got to get into that. It's one of those. Yeah, I'll free myself up a weekend one of these days and just sit there and play with it, and it never seems to happen. So,
Yeah. It's one of those things. I got a couple of. Most of my colorists, I think, use Clip Studio to do the work that I hire them for.
Doug says Clip Studio is awesome.
It really is
Great.
awesome.
So, hey, in the chat, since you're there, how do you think 2023 is going to go? Be nice.
Well, don't ask us how we think 2023 is going to go and then say be nice.
Right. Yeah.
I just want the chat to be nice. We can be whatever. We're TVMA DLSVs, so
We can be whatever we want.
we can be whatever we want. Yeah.
Well, I mean, depends on how entertained you are at a dumpster fire, I guess. You know, is how I think it's going to go.
Well, I mean, also depends on what we're talking about, right? If we're talking about comic books,
What's
As a
gonna be
whole?
burning? Yeah.
right? We're talking about comic books as a whole. Maybe, because what happens in Marvel and DC, I'm not that concerned about. I'm like, that's a whole nother universe. Who cares?
That's what Mitch was talking about. Dumpster fire.
Well,
But-
the dumpster fire was with everything, including comics. But yeah.
Oh,
If we're talking about
organized chaos says I don't want to jinx 2023.
exactly, we're all hoping for a better year. So
Doug says, just have to roll with the punches. What can we do? There you
exactly.
go. That's about right.
Yeah, that's it.
But are you making plans? That's the thing. Are you making plans?
I'm making plans,
Yeah.
brother.
Make a plan.
I've got
Exactly.
scheduled 5 or 6 books already for next year.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Now, is that
I'm-
individual titles or
Well, individual books. We're gonna have, obviously some repeat for hybrids this year coming up. And yeah, so there's an anthology that's involved in there, and then
cool.
it's not really even including any of the books that aren't mine that I'm working on, because I'm working on some other people's books that aren't necessarily mine, but
You're just helping out on, or are you doing the art?
yeah, doing the art mostly. I'm gonna be lettering a couple books
Cool.
this year as well, so
Organized chaos is life is what happens when you're making other plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-comic work, I have
Glad
two
we have
kids'
the
books that I've got planned to illustrate. So
Cool. Are they're
Nice.
books that you've written or books that other
No,
people have
no.
written that you're illustrating?
no books that I'm just illustrating for other people.
Okay.
One of them's I used to work with her husband, and he retired, and she does kids' books for her church.
Okay.
So and I'm one of the people that she has illustrating them. Obviously, she's never read my comics. She's having me illustrate a kid's book.
yeah, let's hope
Right.
it doesn't.
Yeah, but the other one is it's not really a kid's book. It's a joke book, kind of written in the style of a kid's book. It's kind of political, so I'm not going to go in depth here. But yeah, I got that planned sometime in 2023.
Okay.
Gotcha. Huh.
I know you've got plans, JD. What's going on?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, the Oswald Chronicles is coming out, like a freight train every other month, pretty much. And then, Tall Tales will be in there somewhere. And I have at least 2 or 3 other projects that I'm working on with other people that hopefully will make it out mid-year in 2023. So
Yeah.
So we'll see. Knock on wood. Hopefully things will go well.
This is after Oswald.
No, this is all during, man. I mean, Oswald, I'm gonna be working on probably till they open the hole in the ground and pitch me in. So
That's the way to do it.
Yep. I will be working on that one till that point. Even I finish the story, I just gotta get it done, illustrated, and that's gonna take a while. So. But yeah. So yeah, it's all planned out.
Just digging through.
Yeah, that's usually how I am. Just plan everything out. It's just getting to it is usually the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm putting
I've
pretty
been
hard
taking
deadlines.
too long. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
As I was going to say, I'm putting pretty hard deadlines on myself, so that I make sure that I get it done. And I don't get lazy on myself.
That's what I got to do. That's a big thing. Here's the cover that I did for Flint Comics. I was pretty happy with the
cool.
way it turned out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
That
Yeah,
does
that's
have
definitely. Yeah.
it does have
Weird reference.
a Garbage Pail Kids feel
Yeah.
to the texture and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. It was fun to do.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to do. Got a lot of good reaction off of that. Next year, I'm going to be using these characters again, doing another nature trail. The Preservers.
Nice.
Very nice.
It's a team of superheroes that we do locally. We do a trail for them every year, about 12, 13 pages, depending upon the story, that they post up around the nature preserve and have folks walk through on a nature trail and get a superhero story and a little bit of education and pleasant walk through the woods at the same time. So.
Yeah, I found it really interesting when you posted up the sculptures.
The heads.
Yeah. That was really cool. I was like, wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, they had the Treehouse Masters from Animal Planet come out and build a treehouse out there.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, that's really cool.
And then as a thank you from them to the nature preserve, they pulled in some sculptor from Hollywood to do. They're made out of foam and they're set up way above anybody's reach, way in the top of the treehouse. But it's all of the main characters' heads, so looked really good. Yeah.
You did.
That's my only mention on that episode. Is the head of the nature preserve comes. I mean, by name, she comes walking into the treehouse and she looks up and she goes. She sees the heads for the first time and she goes, "Randy's going to lose it."
Nice.
And
So,
did
yeah.
you?
Oh yeah, I kind of had the idea of what was happening when they, because they were like, "Don't go in the house without us being there. We want to see your face." It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So Randy, I shared something. I don't know if you want to pull it up, but this is what I'm working on for next year, hopefully.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's
awesome.
nice. I like
Thank
that
you.
Oswald's in color now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's expensive, but
Yes, it is.
color ain't cheap. Yeah.
no, it's not. Yeah, man. I mean, man.
Oh, it's looking awesome though. Look at that. It's just incredible.
Yeah, this guy, Slimet, and like I said, I don't try to pronounce his last name because I'm just gonna brutalize it. He's doing a
Yeah.
great job. I mean,
He's doing an excellent job. Those are some great colors.
Oh
I
yeah.
love it.
so
I hate comics that are colorized and dull.
oh
You know,
yeah,
that's
because it
not-
makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just not comics to me, especially superheroes with flashy costumes. It's like, oh, why are you gonna add all of those purples and browns and stuff for it? There's a big difference though too from the computer screen to the printed page. These things have a tendency to get duller.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's true. You can figure at least 10%.
Yeah.
It's gonna darken up at least 10%.
You don't have that backlight that you have on the computer screen. So,
Exactly.
folks coloring using computer colors who aren't as talented as your guy will color things and think they look great until they see them in print, and then it looks
Right. Yeah.
looks just terrible.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Oh,
ran into
fortunately-
that myself.
Yeah. Fortunately, he's already had stuff printed, so I think
Yeah.
he knows. Like he's realized he's like, okay, we can make these adjustments.
And to be honest, that's why he ain't cheap.
Exactly.
Yeah, if they're good, they're
lot of-
not cheap.
A lot of times you get what you pay for on that. So
Yep. Yeah,
I'd say
I'm
most
literally
times you get.
I literally send them one page a week. I was
There
like,
you
okay, I can afford one page. So there you go.
can swing
52
this.
weeks. 52 weeks. I'll have 2 issues.
there you are. That's a way to look at it if you have to. You got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
In the chat, Doug says it's good to diversify, Mitch. Doug says, yeah, making plans. Hope to get a Kickstarter going finally. I've been doing so much for other people. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that. That says since waking up, it's been a lot of catch-up commercial work for me. So it's been pretty crazy. Nice stuff, JD.
Thank you, Doug.
Evening, everyone. Evening, North Free. Hope you're
What's
doing
up,
all
man?
right. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that love button if you care to. We're just here talking. So we're trying to make plans for next year. Let's make plans.
We're
So I
working
mean,
on the,
so here's something. What are you guys looking forward to next year? Right? Like what are you guys really looking forward to? Like, do you guys have a vacation you're planning on going? Like, I haven't really discussed it. Well, we've discussed it maybe once. I want to go out to Amsterdam. I want to visit Mike Jimmy.
Yeah, that would be
You
cool.
know, yeah. I want to go visit Mike Jimmy. And go hang out with him. I think that'd be awesome.
Well, we're talking about going to Vegas
Oh, nice.
and flying directly out there, renting a car, and then traveling around the Four Corners area.
Okay.
And want to see Grand Canyon. The wife's already seen Painted Desert, but I want to see that really bad too.
So you'll have a good time. She'll be like, "Oh, I've seen this before."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been a long time since I've done that kind of a long travel. Last year we went up into the UP, and that's amazing up there. It's just beautiful up there. But you need to. I hate snow, so what I'm really looking forward to next year is spring. So, get the hell rid of this snow.
Oh, you already got snow already?
get back into green. We've had it. We had about an inch and a half, just
Okay.
sprinkling. We're not close to Buffalo, and
Right.
Buffalo got that. They got hit hard. They always do though, but they're right at the end of the lake, so they
Mhm.
get all the lake effect snow piled up.
Yeah.
But what growing up, I remember us getting 3.5, 4 feet of snow. I think the year before, '76, I think we had a really bad blizzard
Mhm.
around here, and now it's kind of weird driving around. See, everybody put the everybody now has fluorescent orange pylons set up around their driveway to warn the plowers how to avoid. But here in Michigan, the way that we're sitting, especially the last 2 or 3 years, we've been lucky because the jet stream has been dipping below us and going up on the east side of the Appalachians and hitting the East Coast really hard.
Yeah.
So our winters have been incredibly mild the last 3 or 4 years. As we're nestled between the lakes. I'm in the mitten, so almost in the middle of the mitt. So we get most of the time we're protected by the lakes being far enough to the east from Lake Michigan. But the wife's got sister over in Holland, Michigan, and she gets all the lake effect snow. So we get 2 inches, they get 2 feet.
Oof. Yeah.
You know, they're just barely off of the curve from Chicago
Mhm.
up the
Yeah,
west coast of Michigan.
We've just been getting rain. So,
Yeah, luckily.
yeah, luckily. Exactly.
Yeah,
Down here, we had like a week of winter, and then it turned into fall again.
yeah.
Where you at, in Florida?
South Carolina,
South Carolina. Gotcha.
near the mountains.
Nice.
You probably have had it pretty rough last couple of years because it seems to
Yeah.
dip right below and just run right up the Appalachians
Mm.
on the east side, all the way up the east
Oh,
coast.
yeah. Yeah, the last few years has been like snow wise has been pretty tough.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we really don't get snow; we get ice, which is horrible.
Yeah, that's
Especially if you're not used to driving it.
right.
No,
Yeah.
no, and that's kind of the thing about having it usually once a year is people don't get used to it enough to actually drive in it. So, everyone's it's like they're driving in it for the first time.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
You probably get it freezing in Florida maybe twice a year if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
If we're lucky.
if you're lucky.
Yeah, I don't like the cold. Of course, you know
Well,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't either, but I'm still here.
That Bowling Green cold.
Yeah.
That was as cold as I ever want to get.
Oh, well, that wasn't cold at all. That was almost
Yeah.
shorts weather. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Indianapolis was colder than that.
Oof.
Indianapolis was freezing. It snowed while I was there.
Well, I found Indianapolis to be a kind of a cold town anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite being there.
Yeah, I don't like the heat down here. Like it's not like hot heat. It's like suffocating sticky heat. Like you go outside and all of a sudden you're sweaty and can't breathe. Well, I can't breathe, and man, it's tough.
Some people.
It's like
Yep.
yeah, it gets like 98, 99 degrees, and it feels like 200 fucking Kelvin.
Something I've noticed for next year is that conventions are raging back. And even in the Midwest here, they're planning conventions in February and May or March. And
Yeah.
it's just crazy. It's like, are you sure you want to have a show in February? Because, it kind of snows. You
Yeah.
don't know what the weather's like.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on when they were able to have it.
I've got a show
Like the
planned,
venue and
one
stuff.
show in February, 2 shows in March. I had to push my show off because the weekend that I had, I was going to do a show here in Flint at the farmers market, had the weekend reserved. Then I talked to Mark Hodges, and he's like, dude, I got a 2-day show I'm doing in Kalamazoo that weekend. And I'm like, well, and Mark does big shows. He's got the number 2 show in the state past Motor City. And he just going to do a show in Kalamazoo. I guess I'm going to have to push my date back, and now I can't. Everything else all the other dates that I want are already taken at the market, so I'm probably not even going to have a show this year.
Yeah, it sucks.
But there's like but I've already got a convention plan, for the next, except for January. Luckily, January's free. But other than that, February's one show, March is two shows, April is already two shows, May is a show, a big one. I might get into I might go into Motor City this year as Arrow Comics because we've got a lot of stuff, and well, we got a lot of stuff to sell. So
Yes.
might actually get into Motor City Con this year just to set up as Arrow Comics. Plus, there's a couple of things. I've got Comics Wellspring ran a Black Friday sale, so I ordered a bunch of print on demand books that I should have from them in about a week or so. So I'll have a restock on Paragon 1, Calico 1, and I put HeroBot 2 to press.
Nice.
So I'll have that to sell at the shows as well as all the other stuff that we had. So we
Awesome.
did a 2-day show at the Grand Rapids Con, the one that Mark also threw. The guy was going to throw a show in Kalamazoo. And he treated me really good at that show, and I did really, really good at that show. It was probably one of my best conventions in the last decade or so, which probably ain't saying much because I really didn't do a lot. And then when I was doing shows, I was giving away Flint Comics at them, or the newspaper most of the time. But it was a really successful show. Had a lot of people coming up asking about Anniversary. Just crazy. It's like, really? Yeah, I still got them in the box there, that kind of thing. But they, happy to see it.
Yeah, they want that omnibus.
They do. That's what they want. I think
That's what they want.
get it all collected.
Exactly. I mean, you see what Tim Vigil's doing with Faust, right?
Yeah.
Jason
just told me about that a couple days ago. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm going to back that. I go on the Kickstarter page. I'm like, $125.
Yep.
That could be why he cleared the amount of money he did as fast as he did.
Probably.
Well, of course, yeah. 145 with shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey,
I love Faust, but dude, I'm tight for money. Sorry.
Dude,
Don't take it personal for watching.
I've been fiending for that book for years. So I had to pop for it. But I spoke to Tim Vigil 10 years ago. I think it was in Miami, and I was like, dude, when are you gonna do, a collected edition? And he was just like, I don't know. I was like, you could Kickstarter. You could probably raise $30,000. You think I could raise 30? I was like, yes, Tim, you're Tim Vigil. Yes, you can. But he was like, I'm doing all the work myself. So I said, oh, I get it. So yeah, but they finally got it out.
Get Chris in the house. 125. No thanks.
Yeah, listen, it's Tim Vigil, buddy.
It hurt me because I've been waiting for it, just like JD said. I've been waiting for a collected edition, and I was like, I got to pay rent soon.
Tim's quality though. If you can swing it, it'll be worth it.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, no.
And here's the other thing.
I can find a used edition after people start selling.
Those books. This particular edition is limited to 777 copies, right? I would imagine 2 to 3 years, those books will be worth $200 or $300, right?
Easy, yeah,
easy, right? And but what I do imagine, because they're running a 50-day campaign, I'm pretty sure they're gonna run out of these books, and they're gonna have to offer up like a trade paperback.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be your opportunity to be able to get a collected edition, and that'll probably be like half the price. So, or at least that's what I hope they do.
Yeah, I hope so because I love that book. That was I remember buying that book as a kid. Well, I was like preteen, teenager, but
you were a kid.
And I was like, oh my god, this is like Spawn but better.
Yeah.
Then I saw the movie and I'm like, okay, this is awesome.
It's Tim Vigil was up here for a 2-day show. I probably told this story already, but he introduced me to strip clubs.
Not surprised.
Yeah, seriously.
There's a really good story about that. So maybe I'll tell you off camera. But yeah, he did. He was up for a 2-day signing. He actually came up for a 2-day, had himself flown in No, David Quinn wasn't with him. It was his vigil at a comic shop, and at the end of the first day, Saturday night, he's like, "What are you guys going to do after? I don't know, go out to eat or whatever?" I said, "No, let's go out to a club. Come on, we'll go. You guys got strip clubs around here, don't you? We'll go." So we went,
Nice.
and it was it was a very memorable experience. So,
I was at a strip club in Charlotte during Heroes one time, and I saw David Mack of all people go up to get a lap dance.
there you go.
And I was like, David Mack has
Aren't we?
to pay for a lap dance? I mean,
Or are we not, man? Anyway.
He listen. He spends a lot of time at the art table,
Okay.
right? Spends a lot of time at the art table. Might not have time to get out
Because he's a good-looking man,
One Motor City Con, and I don't remember who it is, and I don't know if I'd want to tell you if it was or if I remembered, but they were doing a kabuki type book, an Asian female warrior character, and he had heard that there was a club over in Windsor, which is right across the river from Detroit, that there was a club over in Windsor that had Asian women, and that you could go in and visit with them for a price, and nothing, over nothing hardcore. Just go and have a 15-20 minute session with them. And he wanted to sit down and sketch a few Asian women. So we went over to this club, and it's no longer around. It was Studio 4. And I went over there with a couple of friends, and he went into the basement. We went into the basement. This guy in a full dress suit comes out with a notebook with a guidebook for who would you like to have, visit you. And he picked a couple of girls, and he was going to stay down there. We went up to the main floor, and I doubt that old time adult film stars, but Vanessa Del Rio was up there dancing. And she is a Puerto Rican adult film actress of quite some renown. And she put on an old-fashioned burlesque show that was completely unforgettable. Just amazing. Large feathered fans and long gloves, and it's just an amazing production. Just a great time. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Jason Moore in the house. Jason, what a great time with Vidge. Yeah, he was there. I was 16 or 17, and that was my first time at a strip joint. Yeah. You remember the next day, Jason? Remember the next morning? Yeah. Anyway, Quinn wasn't with us the first time that Vidge came to Flint, but he was there the second time. It was a blast, just like the first time. LOL. Yeah.
Nice.
It's all Vidge's fault, though. It's all Vidge's fault. There was a girl.
Well, if he ever comes to Greenville, I know exactly where the strip clubs are. So.
It's right after Batman Returns had come out, and one of the girls was there dressed as Catwoman.
Oh.
She came with a cat of nine tails, along with it. Vidge had a great night. Anyway,
I'd assume he would.
I'm sure he had quite a memorable evening. Jason goes, I absolutely do remember. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, more stuff for off camera. Hey, folks.
ZimmCast, where you learn about strip clubs.
That's right. I always told people after that, if you ever want to learn female anatomy, that's where you need to go. Take a sketchbook to the strip club. Sit there and just draw, because you're not going to find most of the time, buff women.
Some of them won't let you sketch, though. That's one thing I've learned.
Some of the clubs won't, but you get to know them after a while, and carry a flare pen and a small. It doesn't have to be a huge book. You're not going to sit there all day like you're in an art class, sitting there doing charcoal renderings and all of this. No, you grab a small sketchbook and a flare pen, and you sketch as fast as you can while they're dancing. You don't interrupt them. So
I know a guy that was kicked out of a strip club for drawing him. But he also thought one of the strippers liked him, so that might have had something to do with it.
That's part of their job.
Exactly.
Well, but guys need to understand that's part of their job. That's not, they're not actually into you.
Used to sell a sweat T-shirt that says, "I think that stripper really likes me."
Yeah. Even if you take them home,
got me a couple of really good jobs from one of the strip clubs too. You have to print their logo on the front and print on the back. They thought it was hilarious. So I also remember one of the strippers trying to see what Bidge was drawing, and she fell off the stage. I don't remember that at all, but that's funny. Yeah. Leaning over. Ah. Lots of stories. Anyway, good times. Yeah,
And those-
Vigil's got a Kickstarter right now, selling his book, Faust
Yeah,
Collection, Faust Omnibus.
Yeah, they're up to 106,000. Jeez.
Really
Oof.
good for them.
Yeah. I mean,
At
listen, man.
125 a pop. That shows you that there's money out there to be made for
If you
good
can find
comics.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I recommend that book to anybody.
Because Faust hasn't been out in 25 years.
Yeah.
No.
Like that.
I mean, it's probably been about, because you gotta remember they release issues 13, 14, and 15, probably about 10, 12 years ago.
Okay.
But
Have
it's
they
been a minute.
completed this the storyline?
Sure
or
it
is
was
it
10 or
stuck?
12, or is that like 1992 being yesterday?
No. It's not that far back. But yeah.
Okay.
But it's far back.
It's far back.
Yeah.
It's not that far back.
Not that far back, yeah. But it's in those 3 issues, like 13, 14, and 15 are really I haven't looked, but I keep hearing that they're expensive. They're hard to find because they only did, you gotta remember the issues, I think 1 through 12 they released pretty, in line, within a few years.
Yeah.
And they were selling 40,000 copies a pop.
Probably.
But
Yep.
in the 2000s they were only selling 2,000 or 3,000 copies.
Yeah.
4,000 or 5,000 copies, something like that.
Yep.
So those books are rare.
It just makes the demand for the omnibus all the more then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm lucky if I can find a ragged copy that I can afford.
Of what? Of what?
Faust.
Oh, what?
Really?
Yeah.
What issue?
Any of them.
Really? I don't know. I've never
Yeah,
looked.
yeah, because-
I have the whole run.
I haven't
Oh,
looked
okay.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what issues I have, but yeah, like I'm usually lucky to find them because to find them and they be affordable. Because I found one in like a ragged copy in like a dollar bin at at one of my local stores, and I was like, oh my god, this is a find.
Yeah.
Right.
No one else understood what was so great about it, but I did.
Mhm.
We opened up the cover and we shut it and stuck it in the dollar bin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually when I see them at conventions, they're like in the hundreds of dollars.
Really?
Yeah, but that's
I-
rare though.
I can't say I've seen one at shows lately, but I haven't really been out there, looking
It hasn't
at
been lately. It's been, every once in a while I'll see one at a show
Mhm.
in the bag and board on on the shelf. Usually covered up. The
Yeah.
special bits covered up, but yeah, it's usually.
Well, yeah, they have to. Yeah. Jason says the Faust collection is 500 pages. The final 2 or 3 issues of Faust are very hard to find and cost over 100 each easily. So I think 125 is totally worth it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you are.
No, it is. It's just right now with me, money's kind of tight, so I'm like, ugh. I felt bad not buying it though. I did.
Well,
I
I
hear
mean,
you.
hopefully they'll release a trade, like a nice thick trade of it, and you'll be able to pick that up. Because, like I said, they limited the run to 777, so they have what is it? I got the page pulled up. They've already sold.
They're at 102,000. They've sold quite a
Right.
bit.
Yeah, they're already sold 693 of them
Oh,
out of
Okay.
777. So they're almost sold out.
yeah.
Yeah.
They will be within a couple of weeks then.
Right. Well, I think within a few days. And they're running a 50-day campaign. So I hope they put up a trade for everybody else.
They just might. Well, they might shut it down once they hit 777 too, and just say
But you
sorry, we're
can't.
sold out.
Yeah. Kickstarter won't let them shut it down. Because you got to run the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
They can't
Yeah.
just post sorry, sold out.
Nope.
They got to run the course. They'd be better off putting up a trade at like $60-$70, right? Because it's still a 500-page thing. I mean, it's huge, right? And
Yeah.
that's more affordable. And they could probably get the printer. Whoever's doing the hardcover could do the trade. The guts, and then just
You'd be
wrap the
looking at
cover on.
like a Essentials or a Showcase Presents
Exactly.
type thickness. Yeah,
Mhm.
probably
I
about
mean,
that size and shape.
Yeah. and they probably pull it another 50, 60K.
Probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're, I mean,
Because there
Tim
would
is a smart guy, but if they were, geniuses, they would do that.
there would also be a percentage of the hardback buyers of the limited buy a paperback as well.
Right.
So just to have the ones that have the disposable income to afford it
Yeah.
would pick it up in a heartbeat just to have it. Yeah.
Because it's especially if you got that hardcover shrink wrapped, you're gonna want to probably have the other one. Just keep it like that and just put it on your shelf.
It's good on them.
Yeah.
Folks, I want to thank you for watching ZimmCast. We're about an hour in. We still haven't talked very much about 2023. What do you think's going to happen? Load us up in the chat, will you? Make your predictions. It's the last hour or so of the show, so you don't have to be as nice. Just let us know what you think. You think who do you think's going to be the first big company to file for bankruptcy? First comic company.
That could be anybody.
That could be anybody.
IDW.
That's one I'd probably think of first.
They haven't done it yet.
File for bankruptcy, gets sold to somebody.
Yeah.
Haven't done it yet.
Well, isn't the guy who owns it like either a billionaire or like he's in the hundreds of millions? Like he's rich.
Happy losing money. That's what he's got to be.
It's a tax write-off if he is.
Yeah, that's what it is, And they say that it's not the comic book end it's losing money, but not losing money the way the TV end is.
Yeah.
It doesn't lose it on the same spectrum because that's where they're losing the money is it's all that TV stuff.
They were talking about, I saw an article on the CW. They said they were losing $2 for every dollar they were making.
God.
They just got bought out by somebody. And they were like, hey, cool, see ya.
Mm-hmm.
Warner's Zaslav was like, like the old time blackjack dealer. Done.
Mm-hmm.
See ya later.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh man, that's a mess.
Yeah.
What a mess.
What a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Anyway, I'm sure Todd McFarlane will do well because he's got the DC action figure contract.
Oh yeah.
I'm not being facetious. I actually think that.
By DC Comics.
DC Comics is going to do fine.
Elon, if you're ever interested, we can do a comic company. Just let's talk. Holy crap, we beat them out within 6 months. Let's go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That'd be great. There's so many better values out there. Rumor is Zaslav is prepping Warner Brothers for sale in about 2025. He's got to turn the company around, and then he's already got a buyer. And then the rumor is that there are a couple of buyers already looking at it. Excuse me for a second.
Who can afford it?
Well, it depends on how cheap it is.
Right. Exactly. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
if it
Well,
goes
you
up
wouldn't
for
sell
sale,
it at a
someone
loss
will buy
either.
it.
You wouldn't sell it at a loss. But the two I've heard is Apple is the first one, Universal, Comcast, the second one.
right.
I've heard rumors that Apple's thinking of buying Disney or thinking of merging with Disney, but I mean that's a rumor.
Yeah, that's why Iger. Yeah, Iger. They said that's why they brought him in is to prep it. But that would be interesting. But I could see Comcast buying DC because they have the money. I mean, those dudes. They're the ones that kicked Disney in the balls while they were trying to buy Fox. They were like 56 billion, no problem. We'll give you 65. And Disney had to come back with 73 and really screw them.
Yeah.
It's just like, talk about some dudes with just way more money than sense.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's crazy.
Well, that's one thing that that I think really screwed Disney over was the constant buying of everything. Because they bought all these IPs and none of them are really turning a profit.
Well, you go back and look at the Icon. I think that's the guy's name. When he was in charge of Marvel, he went around and bought up a lot of little toy companies and Panini and all of this all into one conglomerate just so he could break it apart and sell them individually again.
Yeah, it was a Carl Icahn.
Carl Icahn, yeah.
Yeah, isn't he the one that brought the distributor? What
Heroes
is it
World.
called? Heroes World. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
him.
probably. Yep. Square
Dumbass.
peg, round hole on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, even he says he. I remember there was an interview with him a few years ago, and he says one of his biggest regrets was doing that to Marvel because he said he took a powerhouse and turned it into a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Well, at least he's honest.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, and
mean,
then
he's still
Disney
rich.
came in and bought it and turned it into a powerhouse, and then is currently now
Yeah,
churning out
yeah,
the crap.
Yeah.
So
yeah, yeah. But
just crazy.
listen, at least they can say that particular investment paid off.
Yeah.
You know, it
That's
paid off
true.
in a big, big way for them. So
Yep.
because
Yeah. It did.
if they made what they said something like 20 or 30, I don't know if it was 20 or 30 billion dollars from the movies so far.
Yeah. I would
Yeah, it
say
was like
you're about right. Yeah.
It's a
right.
lot. I
So,
mean,
but
people go see
yeah,
him.
but the thing is that's nothing in comparison to the merch.
No.
You know, so
And
you know.
that's why that's why they look down at the publishing end of things,
Yeah.
because the profit made from the publishing is so minuscule compared to the movies and the merchandising that it's like, you want to do what with what? Yeah, just don't hurt the shield, okay?
Right.
Just
Well, see,
keep that brand running. It'll be
yeah,
fine.
but the problem is that since they don't put that emphasis on the publishing, it's why it's doing so bad. That it'll put pressure on
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
guys to make money. It's like, look, if you guys, I mean, if they would have sit back and rehire a lot of the best artists and best writers in the industry, who wouldn't be there to buy their books?
And they've got money to do that too.
Right.
They could turn Marvel around like that if they wanted
Exactly.
If they
And-
wanted to.
to. If they wanted
If they
to.
wanted to, right? And I mean, we know manga is selling. So why not change around some of the formats, print smaller, print maybe at a smaller size, thicker books, right? You
There's
never
any
know.
of a number of things they ought to be trying. You
Right.
know?
They
Yeah.
could put out, Shonen Jump puts out what, a 200, 300 page book every week?
Yeah.
And why couldn't they put out, like, grab, all the X-Men books in a month and say this is the thing for the month and put it out for $10 on crap paper, right? And then just, and then
to.
sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Sell
mean,
it to
they
wider
have
market.
decades, over half a century worth of material that
Right.
they can just reprint, like Marvel Classics or, because he did
Mhm.
X-Men Classic for like 10 years, was it?
Right.
It was before my time, but,
They
yeah.
went
And
through. Marvel went through in the UK. Here, I'm feverishly digging for a book here. Marvel UK printed Titan for years over there. They went through and did their entire catalog, printed it on really bad newsprint or just typical newsprint,
Right.
printed 2 pages on a page, shrunk down almost digest size in black and
Yeah.
white. And they
Nice.
sold the hell out of these books.
Yeah.
The heck out of them. And they opened, they opened sideways, rectangular.
Mm-hmm.
They went through their catalog 4 times over. Just
Mhm.
over and over and over and over before they started doing original material or throwing original material in there. It had some original material because they used to cut these stories in half. And then they had somebody at the bullpen sit there and do a fake splash page to go into the middle of the stories.
Mm.
And they kicked these puppies out weekly, if I'm not mistaken. 9p.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were weekly. This is Titans number 24. And then they kicked
9p
it out.
is like what, 90 cents?
9 pence.
9 pence is about 90 cents.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like they're not even, like I said, because the problem
And
is I think with the publishing and they're not being pushed.
They created their own letters page. They could do this. They could do this here, half the size. They've already got the stats for the things if they wanted to, and stick them in the dollar stores if they wanted to.
yeah,
On a monthly or a
put 'em back
bi-monthly
on the
or
magazine
bi-weekly
racks.
basis,
Mhm.
or put them on magazine racks. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all they have to really do is look at what they've done in the past that worked, and do it.
Mhm.
But they, like y'all said, they're not. the higher ups are just wanting merchandise because let's face it, that's really how Disney made most of their money besides the theme parks
Yeah.
is
Oh, yeah.
is through merchandising. So that's kind of what a lot of these suits at at Disney think is like, oh, okay, let's just make another T-shirt with Captain America on it, do another
Brown dog
plushie or something.
Mhm. Is that a dog with toast?
I think that's a dog with tracks. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was
Puppy
toast.
tracks.
No, they're tracks.
The
They
tracks.
look like brown dog.
and-
Happy you're listening.
Yeah, and like the publishing side is what made these characters.
Mhm.
Because if if the comics and stuff didn't make the characters, they wouldn't make all the movies and TV shows after the characters.
Right.
North
it's
Free.
just
Oh, go ahead.
and they kind of hire the least common denominator. No one there actually cares about the properties.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could be optimistic and say that, well, at one point it may, they may turn around, but from what's been going on the past 5, 6, maybe 7 years, it doesn't look that way.
No.
Yeah. Well, I think what it is. See, here's the thing. I guarantee you, the Marvel publishing end is making money, right? But the problem is that they're satisfied with how much money they're making.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not a real business. It is IP farm, right?
Yeah.
So they say, well, they're making money. They're not costing us anything to exist.
And
but
they're
they're not
keeping the
really-
brands alive, so we'll just let it go.
Exactly. And that's what it is for that. And they're like, we'll make the big money on the movies and the merch and all that stuff. So they're allowed to get away with doing a lot of silly things, like not hiring the best writers and not hiring the best artists.
And it's really a shame too, because they're not thinking long term. They're not
Right.
looking at the long term, because the long term says you need to be growing that audience now to get the
Mhm.
large payoff when they get the disposable income later.
Right.
You
Mhm.
need to get the parents hooked in to buy the books for the kids, to get the kids hooked on the books, so that when they get
Mhm.
older, they get the more expensive books. Then they make sure they see the movies. Then they buy all the tchotchkes. But they're not thinking in
Mhm.
that direction. They're just thinking in how much this movie's going to make within the next 6 months, and then
Mhm.
move on.
Yeah,
And then-
because,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And even the stuff they're doing now is stuff that in the comics wasn't making them money.
Mhm.
I mean, it might have been making them a little money, but it wasn't making them the same money as before.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, they're not trying. I would love to see, what it is imagine if you could pick up a book about this thick, stories that were printed as comic books a year before, printed on newsprint, about that fat, about $10.
I don't
Right?
think they could sell it.
I don't. Well, it depends entirely how hard they try, but
But
that's
if
on
they-
them now.
If they were to go back and keep the essentials and Showcase Presents in print, I think
Right.
that even in a smaller or thinner format, they
Mhm.
could get away with that. They don't have to do 25 issues in a book.
Right.
They could get away with like the Masterworks only in
Mhm.
newsprint and black and white, and just kick it out for half the price, $10 a hit.
Yeah.
They'd
Mhm.
still be making a ton of money.
Yeah.
And in the generational, I don't know what's the proper term, but the generational thing with comics is so strong. Every time I go to any comic book store around here, there's at
Mhm.
least one parent with their kids, and
Yeah.
both the parent and the kids are looking at books.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you got 2 generations at least there. You're reading comics, and no one's really marketing it. To both generations, they think
No.
that either you have to do an adult market or a kid market. They don't think you can do both, and they can. Just look at my favorite superhero is Batman. How many stories for kids with Batman in it are there, and how many stories for adults with Batman in it
Mhm.
are there? There's a
Yeah.
huge.
I mean,
But see, that's
library
what
of both.
that's what Russ Leach is working on over in Europe.
Yeah.
He's working on an all ages Batman property. for I think it's Panini that he's working for over there, and they're intentionally making it exactly like what you said, so that anybody older can enjoy it, and any younger kid can also enjoy it just as much. That's what's going to get people into reading comics.
Yeah,
Is
I
to do
mean,
fun stories like that for everybody.
Marvel had what was it, Star Comics back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing kid-friendly stuff.
Yeah, but there was a level of that was just terrible. They tried the Marvel Adventures line too, and they couldn't keep that going because it was really dark and it wasn't very attractive material. But at least they were trying something. The Star line really, once you got past the Orange Cat Heathcliff, I think it was, and
Right.
a lot of the other stuff they were doing was pretty close to Harvey ripoffs. Royal Roy, A Prince of a Boy. And they did Top Dog, I think it was.
Didn't they do Smurfs?
Yeah,
they
they
Smurf
did
and
Smurfs,
Muppet Babies?
but I don't know if that was Star. I don't think that was Star either. I think that was regular Marvel. They did Ren and
Really?
Stimpy for a while as well.
Uh,
Beavis and
Yeah,
Butthead they did for a little bit.
Stimpy.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think those. I think Star Comics didn't last. What's his name? Sid Jacobson came off of Harvey in order to run Star. That's why Royal Roy looked so much like Richie Rich.
Well,
He wanted to keep to that.
Royal Roy.
Royal Roy, A Prince of a Boy. That's what he was called.
Yeah. Sounds a little bit like Richie Rich.
It is. Yep.
Mhm.
Only it was. I think it was set back in time. I mean, he was living in a castle instead of a mansion.
Yeah.
I can't even remember their other titles other than Heathcliff. I know that was big. Top Dog, I think they had one. That was called. I don't remember the other ones.
Yeah.
North Free says, when looking back on indie comics funding campaigns for 2022, were there more successful campaigns in 2021? Was there growth?
Oh, there was definitely growth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think there were a lot more campaigns.
Yeah, there's a lot of first-time campaigns.
Yeah.
Like brand new creators out there making stuff. Which is, I mean, is really cool, but it also, causes some, some oversaturation.
Oh, yeah.
And it
You're
will.
You're going to get that in any market, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, just look at, going back to the Faust campaign, that's, in the hundreds of thousands now that it's raised. And it's not, it's just started. And of course there's Eric July, is another one. There's a few other ones that really hit it big. I can't remember.
Buy some shirts with sleeves, please. Get that beard trimmed up, will you? You made $3 million. Can you do that for us, buddy? Bring some business into the market. You made $3 million. You can at least, trim up that beard and buy a shirt with some sleeves. That's just.
Oh, he has shirts with sleeves. I've seen him wear them.
Has he? Holy crap!
Yeah. It's just on one of his podcasts, he made mention of after he started working with the Blaze, some like one of their commentators was
you'd have to
BS and like, oh, they don't know what they're talking, blah 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 blah, and then they just he just went to Eric July because Eric July had worn a sleeveless shirt one day on one of the shows. I was like, oh, his hairy arms, blah blah blah. So that's one of the reasons why Eric July has started wearing sleeveless shirts so much. Is just was just to spite that one guy.
I guess I could see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
That's why I grew my beard.
Just to piss people off?
Somebody at a church I was serving, she was a real nasty lady.
Yeah.
She was like, don't you think it's time to shave that beard off? And I said, you know what? I'm never trimming my beard again. And I let my beard grow real long.
I mean, it's a beard. What's the problem with it?
Real funny. Most of the people in the Bible had beards.
Yeah.
And long hair.
I've realized that most of the stuff that I do is to spite someone that ticked me off.
It's a very good feeling, though, when you do it.
I mean,
that's why I'm here, just to tick people off.
Yeah, that's why I didn't die.
Yeah.
I was going to piss a few people off, so
Yeah.
There we go.
If you're pissing people off, you're doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
What's the salty artist working on? There you go.
Oh, you want me to show it? Here, I'll show you. I decided to redo that painting. I didn't like it.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I see that you've got that salty artist in your name. I thought he was talking about all of us.
Oh, we're all a little salty.
We're all just a
Yeah,
little
all-
salty.
Oh,
There you
cool.
are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Just,
Larry Higgins in the house. Niobe says, that's why I'm here.
What's up, Larry?
That's right. What's up, Larry? Hope you're doing all right, buddy.
Oh,
Says salty. What's the salty artist working on? That's plural.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn says, hi. Hey, Randy and chaps. Can't sleep again. Sorry, Glenn.
What's up, Glenn?
Try to get a nap.
Jesus,
in.
gotta be like what, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning out there?
Yeah, probably.
He's probably just spending the whole day watching football.
It's our comics by night time. Yeah, it's probably what it is. He can't sleep because
Mhm.
he's been watching so much football.
Oh, I'm sorry. He calls it
Traps
soccer.
is also an artist.
Or,
Yeah,
we call it soccer.
it's football.
Yeah.
Don't call it soccer to Glenn. It's football to him.
I know. Well,
He
I always
says
love
it's
the people-
4:22 a.m. There we are.
There you go.
Almost time for comics by night over there.
Yeah,
Now he knows how I feel.
yeah, I love a lot of the people over here. I was like, well, American football is the real football. And I'm like, really? The game where they toss it and carry it with their hands, football, that's the real one? Really?
Yeah. It's about all you can do is kick it with your foot
Yeah.
other than throw it. So
Yeah, I'm not a fan of either, so doesn't affect me either way.
not a sports guy.
No, I just like making fun of stupid people.
So I
I'm
did
not saying
see
that
that.
sports fans are stupid, just those people that, you make that kind of, snarky asshole comment are stupid people.
I did see that USA is going to have a show called Barmageddon, where they're in a bar playing goofy games that look kind of fun. Keg curling caught my interest.
Okay, cool.
Kegs on wheels, pushed with a large push broom. Interesting.
It actually looks. What channel is that going to be on? Or
USA.
USA. Oh,
I said that's stupid enough to be watchable.
well,
It's like-
stupid
it's like
enough to be on
Wipeout.
USA.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Wipeout.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Me too. Used to love that show.
iPad is
USA are in the last 16, doing well. Yeah, lucky.
Yeah.
Their key player though has an injury.
Nah.
Guess how I knew that? I just caught it on the news show.
I keep
Just to
forgetting
add drama.
that there's a World Cup going on. Then I see a YouTube commercial. Watch the World Cup. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's probably just me, but every time I hear World Cup, I think bra size. Anyway, never mind.
That's
I'm
very
going to
funny.
start now.
20, 2023, folks. What's coming up?
Well, I'm building a couple of different websites. Building one for crowdfunding, and that one's coming along really well. And then we're building one for the Arrow Comics store.
Build up a little foundation to work more stuff up on. Yeah, I really want to expand next year. Got plans.
Yeah.
See what's going to happen. I'm really curious. I really want to find. Probably, it looks like we're going to be our own. Sorry, brown dog. We're about on COVID-10 right now, so you missed that C2. Started out C19, remember? So there's already been 18 COVID. So
Yeah. Well, apparently the number of the 19 and COVID-19 is the year it came out,
yeah,
Yes.
probably.
which means that we've already had COVID 20, 21, and we're on COVID 22. So I'm kind of thinking this is just me.
Try
this
not
is a
to-
conspiracy theory. This is just
Try not
my
to use
opinion.
that try not to use that name too many more times, or they'll
Okay.
come and get us. So
Okay, the
they'll,
bug.
they'll knock us off of
19,
YouTube.
The
The beard
bug.
bug.
Yeah,
You know,
those algorithms are
I
already
kind of
ticking.
wondered if the
Brown dog.
I'm trying to think
haha.
of another definition. The type of bug that that keeps coming, is that the next year's version, or is that I don't
Yeah,
know.
they were talking about that, but there were so many sub variants that were happening. They just started calling it different things. So
Okay.
we're now on CO5, I think it is, and CO5 is Omniverse, whatever.
Omniverse.
Omnicron.
Have we got
It's,
to
named.
Optimus Prime yet?
No, that's Optimus. Optitron. That's coming. Remember, it was Delta, and then they were going to go Gamma and Zeta.
Omnitron,
And, no,
yeah.
Oh gosh.
they decided to go Opticron.
Well,
and call
at least they
themselves after
changed the
Transformers.
monkeypox name, because that was good
Still
on
funny,
them.
though. They didn't bother to change chicken pox, though. There's still chicken pox out there. There might as well be monkeypox. And until we get to platypus pox, we'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's funny, they
Platypox.
they came off this big announcement, we're changing the name, and I'm like, that's the most important thing that you can do right now is change the name, not find out how to fight it.
It's an old advertising marketing technique. It's called bait and switch.
Oh,
So
yeah, I forgot that it's the
don't worry
government we're
about
dealing
don't worry about the C behind the curtain or the M pox or that over here. We're just going to call it M pox from now on because those monkeys get offended real easy. So we're just going to call it M pox from now on. Electric comic books. There we go.
with. Well, we already have them technically, if you think of
Agreed.
web comics.
Yeah, they said Christian Pulisic is going to play Saturday. There we go. That's the injured American player or the injured U.S. The injured player playing for the United States. That's probably WC should certainly not been in Qatar. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard stories that we're not going to get into here.
That's all political. We're not here to talk
Yeah.
sports. Unless you really want to guess who's going to win the World Cup. But we're down.
Does
to
it really
60
matter?
comic
Galactus, can he win? Because I'd really love to see him win right now. World Cup, just
The
anything.
Universal
Have him
Cup.
come over, please. I'm ready.
If we call him Captain America. There we go. Yep.
There you go. I wouldn't mind seeing
France
that.
going to win the World Cup. There we are, Glenn. France. So go ahead, JD. You're going to say something.
Oh no, I was just, don't mind me. I'm like doing 19 things at once.
all right.
But yeah, the World Cup, nobody, who cares? I'm not betting on it, so what does it matter, right? Not gonna make any money on it.
That's the way it is here with American football.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
care about that
betting
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a tradition in the wife's family. We all gather together at the house. It's tradition. We have the old style Thanksgiving dinner, and we all sit around the TV and watch the Lions lose. The way it works.
So what? Are you disappointed if they win?
Stunned is more the word. Stunned. But even when it looks like they're winning, there's a ref call in there somewhere. And they'll lose. It gets pretty humorous after a while. It's a big running gag.
That's rough. That's
Then
rough.
after we watch that, we'll go into the kitchen around the dining room table and play poker.
Texas Hold'em.
Nothing like
Stunned.
There's
No,
nothing
we
like gambling amongst family.
Older people. We never play Hold'em. We always play all these other really weird games. Spit in the puddle and curse your neighbor and all of that.
Curse your neighbor. Okay.
Hashtag winning.
I do that a lot.
It's really screw your neighbor is what it's called. You pass the cards around, and whoever has the lowest one loses a quarter.
I don't even play cards, and I do that a lot.
Screw your neighbor. Oh, cuss the neighbor.
Curse the neighbor. There you go.
All right. Yes. So, hey, folks, out there in your comic buying, I think this next year, we're going to be in for a rough economy, and comics usually always thrive during a rough economy. Unfortunately, there aren't dime comics, there aren't nickel comics, or not nickel comics, dime comics or 50-cent comics. Even dollar boxes are starting to become more and more scarce. So get out there.
At the store was like $2 for a former dollar book. It was, whew.
$3 for good old reading copies anymore. Yeah. Yep. So if you get out there to those conventions, make sure you take a look through those comic dealers if you find any. A lot of these conventions lately have been pretty sparse on good comic dealers that I've found.
Yeah.
There's a lot of graphic novel dealers, not a whole lot of comic dealers. And if they do, they have the golden agers in the back, and then everything in the front are all slabbed in boxes.
Yeah.
They like to have the slabbed ones out front.
Yeah.
Larry says he's fulfilling Niobe Outbreak #1 as we speak. Good for you.
Nice.
Larry. Fantastic. Next year will be a big year for Pigtails. Is that a fashion style or a book that you're starting, Larry?
That's Niobe. She has pigtails.
Pigtails. All right. Got it. Painting and getting ready for 2 shows this weekend. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome, Pete. Good luck on those. Hope you do well. JD, why don't you tell folks how they can find you?
All right. You go under JD Calderon on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and DeviantArt, all under JD Calderon. You can find me on YouTube on Sundays at Indie Comics Explained at 7:30 p.m. EST. And you can go check out the Oswald Chronicles currently on Kickstarter.
You have a campaign on Kickstarter running right now?
Always.
Always.
Always. Yeah. Or at least I'm trying to make it always. Listen, I
Mitch,
did.
Oh,
I
go
think
ahead.
this is 6. This is 6 for me this year. I'm going to try to get 8 in at least next year. So
There we go.
Yeah.
Sounds like a goal. Almost one a month.
almost every 6 weeks, roughly.
Okay. Mitch, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me at Linktree/Celtic Cross Studios, where you can find my website, online comics, socials, and everything else. Don't forget, the Boger Southern Gothic is for sale at my website, CelticCrossComics.com. I'll hold it up again.
There we are.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, it's at my website, CelticCrossComics.com. Follow me on Facebook and stuff if you want to keep up with my comics. I'm going to be I'm starting a campaign for the re-release of the Boger as an ongoing quarterly series, probably in July. It looks like so stay tuned for that. You can also catch me at here on the Indie Comics Network Tuesdays with C. Michael Lanning, Jared Lockhart, and others for Dispatches Behind the Box. I think next week we're
Dispatches
doing
from
Disney
outside the
films.
box. Say what? Gonna do what?
Oh, yes. Next week I think we're doing Disney movies, Disney animated movies.
Cool.
And I'll promise to keep my cussing and rage about Disney to a minimum.
Think of the good days.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It was so long ago.
Yeah, but think of the good days.
I've always had issues with Disney, but
That Strange World,
that's for
huh?
another day.
147 million they're figuring.
What a great movie that
When
was.
it's all said and done, flushed right down the toilet. Anyway,
Where's it? Which movie?
Strange World.
It's the new Disney movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems.
Remember whenever Disney would release an animated movie, it would be like an event.
Yeah,
Mhm.
people would look for.
Well-
Remember when they used to pull the stuff out of the vaults every 10
Yeah.
years and stick them up on the theater screen? You had to go out and watch it again because you remembered it so fondly when you were a kid. Just yeah.
Have they
Those
haven't
days.
even had a good movie since John Lasseter got shit canned?
I don't
Right.
think so.
You know.
We're starting
When
to
was
see. I think we were
Right.
seeing the results with that. With what was that movie? Big Red. That was the
Right.
first
Yeah.
one that was completely free of Lasseter control,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, look, I guess the guy had a hugging problem. They should have bought him. They should have bought him a Shih Tzu and say, "Hold on to this," and just let him keep working. They were like,
They
"Hold on to this. Don't touch nobody. Just keep your dog."
they should have just bought him a body pillow. Told him to,
Seriously, something.
tell him to
No.
apologize a couple of times and get
Right.
back to work. That's what they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
And
give him
anyway.
a waifu and he'd be fine.
You know.
Waifu pillow,
Yeah.
he's fine.
Luke, tell folks we're heaven forbid they put a my pillow in the background. That's a whole
Seriously.
nother story. Luke, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me over at LukeStoneStudios.com. All of my pertinent links are over there. I send out emails every once in a while, not very often, but feel free to sign up for that mailing list. Got a couple of campaigns that are live right now. Haven't really been doing enough promotion with them, but oh well. It's the holidays. We've been busy. So,
Still got that Rift Riders campaign in demand?
yeah, that one's still going.
And that has an Arrow Comics tier attached to it. 8 Arrow Comics. Great variety of stuff. Just waiting for you to pick up and read. So go over there.
Yeah.
Rift Riders over on Indiegogo. We'll play a little bump for that before we leave today.
Nice.
So. And folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can catch me over on Facebook, Twitter, if you look hard enough. I'll be over there probably more often now, but we'll see. Other than that, look for Arrow Comics. Look for Arrow Comics in 2023. Look for me at conventions all throughout the Midwest. Here, as I go through and promote Arrow Comics, and we grow little bit by bit. We've got some great announcements coming up in the next couple of months. Nothing that we can talk about yet, but a lot of great things in the works. Gonna be bigger by the end of the year than what we are now. And right now we have Hero Bot 0, 1, and 2 available. Calico 1, Paragon 1, Sin Killer 1, Only Death Can Save Us 1, Hybrids, everything. Hybrids, 1 through 9, plus a collection and all
1 through
sorts.
9, yes.
And Rift Riders available, all ready for you to buy. Just contact either myself or Luke Stone. We'll be more than happy to set you up. We also have retailer discounts and anything to help us or help you get material into your store. Happy to do it. Sorry for tuning in late. Good show. Thanks, Brown Dog. We're here all the time. We are archived over on the Indie Comics Network. ZimmCast has been around for not quite a year yet, but been around for quite a while. I also do 2 more shows other than ZimmCast here at 10 p.m. on the Indie Comics Network. I do Comics by Night, which is a great show. Glenn Fleming is on it. Russ Leach is on it. And this week, I'm going to be opening this box right here that has a tremendously huge book in it of fantastic Steranko Nick Fury artwork brought to us by the folks at IDW during one of their better printing decisions. We're going to go through that book and talk about Steranko this Friday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 a.m. on the West Coast, or like 10 in the mid-morning over where Glenn and Russ are. And we're going to go through and talk Steranko and marvel over some of his work. And if you've missed any of the other Comics by Night, we've looked at Wally Wood, we've looked at John Buscema last couple of episodes, pulling up artisan books or other titles. I pulled out some of my old ECs and we looked at Wally Wood 2 weeks ago. No, last week. This week, Steranko. Next week, you never know. But on Comics by Night, we try to talk about the nuts and bolts of doing sequential art, what it takes, and we discuss great composition and all of the details to help and try to make you a better artist. Glenn Fleming says, looking forward to that Steranko book. It's big. It's just big. Anyway, it's really big. And anybody else wants to tag along and it's up at 5 a.m., feel free. The chat will be open as well. And we love looking through this stuff. We love pointing out what we see. And I'm sure that there's other stuff there that we missed that you might see and want to point out as well as we go along. Sunday mornings at 9 a.m., Sunday mornings. We talk about the comic books that we love, the comic books that inspire us, the sequential art that fuels our work on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Indie Comics Network. So go over there and enjoy that as well. In fact, go over to the Indie Comics Network. JD's got a show on there. Daphne's got shows. There's all sorts of different programs over there for you. Go over the Indie Comics Network on YouTube, indiecomicsnetwork.com. Subscribe, like, enjoy our archives. We're there for your entertainment, and we hope you enjoy our shows. So go over there and take a look. Really want to thank everybody for sticking around this time. Appreciate the numbers, really do. And love you all for listening in. If there's anything that we can address or help you with, feel free to contact us. Contact me about the ZimmCast or contact the other information on the bump that I'm about to play. We'd love to hear from you, love to help you out and talk more about this art form that we love so much. Any last words from anybody?
Buy more comics, especially ours.
Buy independent and alternative comics, especially ours. Yeah,
Buy my
sure you
shit.
go out. Buy my shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Go out and visit that retailer. That comic shop owner will love you for it. Take a couple hours. Go through those boxes. Especially look for those boxes close to the floor. The ones that he might not have gone through the last couple of months. You'd be amazed at the gold and the quality sequential art that you're going to find there. So we wish you all the best. Have a great week, everybody. Nerd Bacon is up Thursday morning over tomorrow morning over on Luke Stone's podcast. Well, I'll be back Friday morning for Comics by Night, Sunday morning for Sunday Funnies. JD will be around, I think, this Sunday, won't you?
Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Indie Comics
7:30.
Explained.
Indie Comics Explained. Mitch will be around the following Tuesday. Well, go ahead, JD.
Yeah, talking indie comics, and I believe we're going to be talking about crowdfunder versus Kickstarter. So that should be interesting.
Kickstarter is crowdfunder, isn't it?
No. There's a site called Crowdfunder.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I know it's a little.
I was
it's-
puzzled for a second.
Yeah. No, it's a competing, crowdfunding site. But yeah,
there's a site out there called Zoop too, but nobody talks much
Exactly.
about that, do they? Anyway,
they're okay.
Zoop rhymes with anyway. All right, folks, take care, everybody. We'll see you. We're going to run a few bumps and a disclaimer because we have to. Nita wants us to make sure everybody knows this. So make sure we run it. Take care, everybody. We'll see you. See you soon. Keep working in comics.
Yep.
Thanks a lot
Have a good
for
night.
being here. Have a good night.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
See, I hit the button and it doesn't jump over to the next video. I'm just too slow, I guess.
Look, everybody's entitled to be an idiot.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
Get it again. Didn't go through.
When your timeline reaches its Armageddon, What's a kid to do?
I'm not a...
Snag the keys to your mom's experimental ship, of course.
That's not quite how it happened.
Drift aimlessly in the rift between dimensions, trying to figure out how to operate it.
Now hold on a sec.
Pick up a few hitchhikers.
Hi! Hello.
And maybe solve a disturbing mystery that could lead to the destruction of reality itself.
You know, if there's time... There's always time.
I'm not so sure about that.
Get in on the adventure with the Rift Riders on Indiegogo.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready! Lupea! And then this cracks. I work too hard. I got my money back. Lupea!
Hit it again. Didn't go through.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comic Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10.
How can he close me up? On what ground? I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here. You're winning, sir. Oh, thank you very much.